Marshal Earp disliked working with the posse, and he avoided it when he could. But news that the San Bernardino gang had crossed from California into Arizona territory and were heading toward Old Mexico left Wyatt no choice. It would take many extra men to cover canyons and trails and make a fight against the San Bernardinos.
And bold. Long live his fame and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, starring Hugh O'Brien.
When our famous Marshal Wyatt Earp came into the bank that morning, I stopped my work to take a good look at him. I guess it was just plain hero worship. I don't know why a bank clerk like me should have admired Wyatt Earp so much. He was a tough man, wearing guns, and I couldn't have envied him his job or the dangerous life he led.
Marshal Earp, this is Harley Smith.
How do you do, sir? How do you do, Mr. Smith? Happy to know you.
I think Smith was on the wrestling team or something like that in college, eh, Smith?
No, sir. I boxed and played some rugby football.
Can you shoot a gun?
Well, I've shot some quail and some rabbits with a 12-gauge.
I wish the bank had someone more experienced.
Mr. Smith will do fine. Real fine. You get into your hunting clothes and be over at my office at noon, huh?
Well, what the...
Marshal's organizing a posse. Catch a gang called San Bernardino Boys headed for the Mexican border. Of course, we're assuming you'll volunteer. But if you don't want to go...
No, sir. I'll be glad to go.
Good. Mr. Bradshaw would like the bank represented.
Mike Noonan. He's day boss out at the Tough Nut Mine.
Scratch him. He has ridden a horse in years.
Jim Biggs, ramrod of the R-30.
Biggs. Hey, Doc, what do you think of Biggs? R-30.
Pretty fair hand.
Who's next?
A fellow by the name of Arlie Smith, over at the Tombstone Bank.
Smith. He's a greener, but I like his looks.
Just so he doesn't spook on us.
Or get himself killed.
Well, I'll let him drive the chuck wagon. Who's next?
Special Agent Dale, Southern Pacific.
He's a good man.
Yep. Judd and Tompkins, Santa Fe. Both of them special agents, too.
Yeah.
All packed? I won't need my shaving things, huh?
You don't know what you'll need. You don't know anything at all about this posse business.
Well, I'll get told. Wyatt Earp will see to that. There's nothing to cry about, Martha.
He didn't need you.
If he didn't, he wouldn't have asked me.
Arlie, you'll get hurt.
I have to go, Martha. The bank expects it of me. And I expect it of myself.
I'm sorry. Go on. Get started now.
That's my girl.
I'll be all right here with Mrs. Williams.
I'll be back in a day or so.
Now, you're carrying your own Winchester and a Colt 45. You're gonna need a good saddle for a long haul. You tell Mr. Gibbs to fix you up, Mr. Jennings. Mr. McNerney?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Holliday says that you know the Santa Cruz River country between Madero and Nogales.
Yes, sir. I've been hunting down there for 15 years or more.
Good. You take this Army map and lay out a trail for us, huh?
Yes, sir. Marshal, we need plenty of 45 cartridges, too.
We got it. Put it in the box, huh? Now, I've decided to split the posse into 3 groups, Dr. Holliday, Mr. Gibbs, and myself. Is that all right with you?
That suits me, sir.
I think the railroad men ought to split up, one go with each group. You all know the San Bernardinos by sight.
I sure do.
All right, load up.
Go, boys.
Smith, sir. I'm from the bank.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Smith. Can you drive a team of horses?
Well, I'm not an expert.
Well, you won't have to be. Dr. Holliday will be riding on a chuck wagon with you most of the time. You better trade that quail grunt in for a sawed-off shotgun. You load it with buckshot.
Yes, sir.
The ammunition's already loaded. You'll be responsible for that and the canteens.
Anything else, Marshal?
I almost forgot. Dr. Goodfellow's loading up the medical kit. You go on over to the hospital and pick it up.
Yes, sir.
Relax, Sonny. We got a lot of miles to go yet.
These horses sure seem to know I'm a greener. Loafing on me.
Well, you are a greener.
I can't deny that. You know, I'm still wondering why Marshal Earp chose me, anyway.
It's a matter of keeping discipline.
How's that?
My young friend, nobody but a greener or a cook will drive a chuck wagon.
They won't, huh?
Don't let it break your heart, Sonny. Just think of yourself as a living sacrifice to our overwhelming Western pride. In return, Deacon Earp, Shotgun Gibbs, and I will try to make sure that you're not a dead sacrifice. Ooh, slow them down.
Oh, boy, oh. Oh, boy, oh.
Easy, easy.
You getting the hang of it, Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Come on up, will you, Doc?
Trouble up there, Wyatt?
I run into a couple strangers. They claim to be special agents for Southern Pacific.
What do Dale, Judd, and Tompkins say?
Well, Dale doesn't know them. Gonna check with the others. You stay here, Mr. Smith.
Well, it didn't exactly break my heart to discover why Earp had picked me to drive the chuck wagon. But I felt disappointed. I guess I had expected to be galloping a horse in a swirl of dust with 245s in my gun belt.
Halt! Halt! He's mine! Hold it! Watch that
It's not hit bad. Go get the medical kit. How many Sambadouras in those mountains?
More than you got, Johnny Law.
Where are they?
You find them.
A couple of men put them in the chuck wagon. Mr. Gibbs?
Come on.
Your detail's gonna have to bury the other one. If you do that, come on back and guard the chuck wagon. The rest of us will go on ahead.
All right, sir. Boys, grab them shovels. Give me a hand.
Come on up.
Mr. Earp,
Yeah?
will you tell me what happened?
All right, Mr. Smith. A couple of Sambadouras tried to pose themselves as railroad detectives to throw us off the trail. The other one's dead. You go give the boys a hand.
Water. 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 Water.
I guess it's all right.
Cut that out, son. If you don't talk, you don't get no water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gibbs. I didn't know.
Boys! Boys! We'll head on out for the first camp. Wyatt and the rest of them will meet us there. You get this here wagon moving. Just follow me and Roscoe.
Well, Mr. Gibbs, shouldn't somebody lick the prisoner? He might be bleeding or something.
Well, that's up to him. He could talk and save us a heap of trouble. He probably figures maybe some of his friends will bushwhack us. Let's go. All right, let's move out.
Sir?
Yes, we did. We probably head for the Santa Cruz River. Means we gotta cross Razor's Back. It's a rough road. Mr. Gibbs will drive until we make camp.
Yes, sir.
How's our prisoner?
Well, he keeps asking for water, but Mr. Gibbs said not to give him any.
That's right. When he gets thirsty enough, he'll talk.
Well, how many boys you figure they got?
Oh, not more than a dozen in the main party. But they may have split up.
You think they'll turn on us?
Not before dark. And keep those horses at a walk.
I'm burning up. I need some water.
You ready to talk?
I don't know nothing.
Well, then you stay thirsty. Move on.
Here I boy!
Rest easy, son. There ain't gonna be no bushwhack along here.
What makes you so certain, Mr. Gibbs?
Well, bushwhackers need easy running room. Besides, Roscoe ain't even brayed once.
You mean Roscoe would warn us?
Well, sure he would. That there mule can smell trouble a half a mile away.
Well, the Sambadures could just be right up there waiting to pick us off with rifles.
Them outlaws ain't fools.
What do you mean?
Well, Wyatt always tries to figure what he'd do if he is an outlaw. Them there Sambadures hit us. It'll happen tonight when we're camped on the Lizard. What's left of them can run downhill to the river.
Mr. Earp is an intelligent man.
Smartest John Law ever I met up with. Of course, he'd been dead a long time ago if he wasn't extra bright. Move along, boy.
Water?
Mr. Smith, bring me that canteen.
Water. No fooling.
You ready to talk?
Talk. No.
We can wait.
Mr. Earp. That was rather cruel, wasn't it?
Hunting outlaws is a cruel business, Mr. Smith. The Sambadoo gang murdered 17 people in California. You give them the chance, they'll wipe us out.
Yes.
You get yourself some supper. You come back here and stand guard duty until midnight. The Sambadooers may decide to hunt us.
Watch it.
Oh, Marshal Earp.
That gun cocked?
Yes, it is.
Lower the hammers. Easy.
We don't carry our guns cocked, Mr. Smith. A man could stumble and hurt himself or shoot a friend.
Yes, sir.
Now, you turn in and get some sleep. Mr. Gibbs will take over.
Is it midnight yet, sir?
Just about.
Oh, Marshal, if it's just the same to you, I'd like to stand the full watch.
Watch it! Keep down! Hold your fire!
Shotgun, take the left draw. Doc, take the center. I'll take the right.
Sir, coming in with 2 prisoners. Lie down. I said lie down.
Where's Smith? Keep an eye on them.
Well, boys, look what we got here.
Mr. Earp, that's me.
Thought you were gonna watch the chuck wagon.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, but I got scared and ran away.
All right. Go on back to camp. Go on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Deacon? Deacon?
Yeah?
So far, we've killed 5 and captured 3. I suppose it has occurred to you that there are San Badua scattered all over these mountains.
Just have to take them as we find them, Doc.
My pals didn't make it, huh?
No, they didn't.
I won't talk to John Law, but I'll talk to you. I gotta have some water.
You'll talk first.
Dice Box Canyon. That's what Turk Higgins and most of the boys is camped. Now, water. For Lord's sakes, give me some water.
All right. Hey, not so much at once. You won't keep it down.
Mr. Smith.
I told you not to give him any
He
water.
talked. The main gang is in a place called Dicebox Canyon.
All right, give him all the water he wants. That's what I'm up against, Mr. Smith. The men are brave enough, they just don't want to ride into that canyon blind.
I didn't think you knew what they felt.
It's my job to know what every man in a posse feels.
Say, why don't you let me go in there and take a look around?
You?
Sure, I'm the logical choice. Well, if I'm caught, they take me for what I am, a greener, not a John Law. You could fix me up with some pots and pans and shovels, and I'd look like a greenhorn prospect.
There's quite a risk to it.
I won't run out on you this time, Mr. Earp.
You've done your running, Mr. Smith. I'd bet on that.
Thank you, Marsh. think it was Mr. Earp's idea all along, but he didn't want to suggest it on account of Martha. I'm sure he wanted to give me this chance to make up for last night.
Marshal, we better hurry. They're breaking camp. They might be gone.
How many of them?
Only about 10 men, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Doc, we'll go in by foot. Spread across the canyon. Mr. Gibbs, you take 2 men and Mr. Biggs form a second line in case they try to ride over us.
He aims to take them all alive.
I sure do. It's a lot easier than digging graves for them. Well, let's move on. We're short on time.
Marshal Earp, if you don't mind, I'd like to go along.
You stay here and watch the horses and the prisoners.
Yes.
Lot to do about nothing, kid. Turk and the boys already got away.
How's for some water, kid?
Not until it's over.
Hurry him up.
Four men dead.
Gibbs and I didn't do it.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm digging for a slug.
Not with a dirty knife, you're not. Mr. Smith, you do it. Use a probe and a forceps.
Yes, sir.
Well, come on, boy. Start a digging.
Where's Gibbs? He went with Marshal Earp to guard the prisoners digging graves.
Surprised Wyatt didn't try to do it by himself.
Well, they're coming back now.
Get off that leg. You're riding the wagon.
Yeah, I believe we will.
Get up there. You need some water? Not right now. Let's get out of here. It's bad country after dark.
We were all too tired to talk, but I kept watching Marshal Earp at the head of the posse and thinking of the job he'd done. He went into the mountains and he broke up the San Bernardino gang before they could escape to Mexico. He was under fire 3 times. I kept thinking, where and how do we find men like him? And what keeps him risking his life in such a job as this?
Just a moment. Arlie! Arlie, honey. Oh, thank God. Look, tell me what happened. Why are you so quiet?
Marshal Earp, you had him all wrong.
Wrong?
You know, he says if he ever needs another posse, he'll be glad to call on me. Think of that. Me riding with Wyatt Earp.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold.